Hey guys, Coach Sam coming at you live March 15th, 2024. It's Friday and we're getting our arm day on. All right, so for our warm up, we have our general flow, which is going to be a variety of different movements to get you nice and loose. Make sure you're doing that, get some nice little prep work. And then we're going to start off today. Our pre fatigue is going to be a Tabata mashup of squatting kettlebell horn curls into ring skull crushers. So for the Tabata, we're going to be alternating movements. So basically, you're going to do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off of the kettlebell horn curl. And then the next 20-second on interval, you're going to go to the Tabata skull crusher. You can alternate through that for 8 total rounds. So approximately, 8 minutes of effort there. And then for the squatting kettlebell horn curls, get yourself into a squat. Don't feel like you got to bottom out, kind of, hold that 90-degree isometric position there, and then hold the kettlebell by the horns. You can also substitute a dumbbell in the crush grip for this, and then make sure you're getting a good stretch in the bottom and then come back up and contract. But we're looking for some metabolic stress here. So feel free to pump those reps out there and get on the higher end of that rep range there. And then for the ring skull crushers, watch the video for the setup there, but play around with the angle. We want you to be moving, for the entire 20 seconds. We don't want it to be such a difficult angle that you're having to do a couple reps and rest. So make sure you're playing around with that. That's something you can sustain, probably somewhere between like 7 to 9 reps throughout the entire, 8 sets there. All right. Moving on for our next segment, it's going to be weighted bench dips. So for setup purposes, you have multiple scaling options. You can, set this up on a bench, on a box, if you will. You can have your feet on the floor or you have your feet elevated. For loading options, the best way to do this is have a partner put some plates on your lap. If you guys don't have the ability to do that, you can also substitute a bar dip if required, if you don't have the ability to do bench dips or a partner to load you up. And also, if you find yourself in a club gym, there are the seated tricep dip machine that's plate loaded. You can also leverage that as well if you have access to one. But for this, we're going to be doing 4 sets with a blood flow set with your body weight at 20 reps for set 1. Moving into some heavy sets of 12 and 10 for 2 and 3, and then a good nice drop set for set 4, where you're going to do 10 heavy reps, peel off some of the weight, 10 heavy reps, peel off some of the weight, and then hit some reps to failure. All right, and then for our next heavy mechanical loading movement for our biceps, we're going to be hitting straight bar cheek curl negatives. So for this movement, it's probably the heaviest movement you're going to touch for your biceps today. And for this, use your hips to hinge the weight up, and then really focus on that 1001, 1002, 1003 count down. Get a good stretch in the bottom and do that again. So we're really focusing on the eccentric portion of this movement where most of the muscle damage is going to occur when we're talking about hypertrophy. So for 4 sets, you're going to be doing 2 sets of 10, and then the final 2 sets are going to be drop sets with a set of 10, dropping 30% into 10 fast reps, which those fast reps are going to be regular curls, not cheat curls. And then for set 4, it's going to be 8 cheat curls into 10 regular fast reps. All right, guys. And then for our next piece, we have our barbell JM press. This is a absolutely phenomenal tricep movement that bridges the skull crusher and the close grip bench press together. So for this, you're going to take a grip that's probably between your close grip bench and bench press length away at the barbell. And then when you come down, you're going to be coming down as if you're doing a skull crusher. You're going to be coming down to about your neck and then pressing back up again. Take a look at that video there. But, really, this is a great movement to isolate your triceps and to also help promote some of the pressing strength at sticking points that you may have in your bench press. So we're doing 4 sets of 20 here, so relatively high rep on there. And then also, if you do have access to a Smith machine, this is a great movement to try to perform on a Smith machine. And then finishing off with our metabolic stress work for our biceps, it's going to be single arm bicep burnout, which is going to be 3 sets of a single arm curl into a hammer curl, looking for 10 to 15 reps per arm. So for some added stimulus for this, when you perform that single arm curl, keep your palm supinated on the way down and then turn your wrist for the hammer curl. So sometimes you'll see people do a curl and then on the way down, they'll start to rotate their wrist. Try to keep your wrist supinated the whole time. You'll probably see a little bit of an added stimulus there and stretching your bicep. Then we have for our conditioning work, you have some optional CrossFit workout. We have Elizabeth. You've got some grunt work with a sled drag, and then we got some bike options for our energy system development. Then you got our core work, 50 toes to bar, and then some optional recovery work. All right, guys. And then, as we always say, make sure you're tagging us out there in social media land, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. Love to see you getting your Anarchy on. And if you're on Train Heroic, hit me up. If you're on Beyond the Whiteboard, make sure you're hitting up Coach Kenny with any questions you guys have. All right, guys. Have a great Arms Day.